Hey everyone, thanks for being here. Welcome, Dorkcast episode 3 on our third week, going strong. Had to change the days up a little bit. Today is Thursday. It's not Friday like I've been meaning to do every week, but it is a holiday week. You know, tomorrow's 4th of July. So, I had to switch things up a little bit. Hope you don't mind. Hopefully you have tomorrow off. If you're in the United States, if you're not in the United States, maybe you have the day off anyway. Maybe you just have PTO tomorrow for no reason. Maybe you have a sick day tomorrow. I don't know. Even if you do have today, or even if you are working tomorrow, hope it's a great day. And today is Ben's birthday, right? Ben, happy birthday. Everyone, please give Ben a happy birthday in the chat. We love Ben. Hope he has a great day today. Sounds like he has so far, which is good. Good to hear. But yeah, it's the third week in a row with Dorkcast. And so speaking of Dorkcast, I officially went and I kind of created everything I needed to do to put it on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. So this podcast is now on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. You can go and listen to it. Isn't that weird? That's kind of weird. Like, I don't know. It's just like, I've never done anything like that before. So that's kind of cool, even though it's kind of the same thing of what I've done a billion times. But now you can just listen to it on a different app other than YouTube. Whoa. And so for the 12 people who have listened to it there when I checked earlier this morning, thanks. So that's pretty cool. And if you want to, because this kind of thing is, I guess, there's a little bit of viewership involved because I'll pull up different pictures of new action figures, but most of it is just me ranting on, which is more listening than watching. So if you're more interested in listening via, something that you can lock your phone and listen to, the links are in the description of this YouTube video, the Apple Podcast and Spotify. And I feel like for the most part, those are the two main platforms that people really listen to podcasts through. And I know there's other ones like Amazon and stuff, and I guess I'll put them on there, but I think I'll only put them on there if anyone's like asking me to, because I don't want to. I know there's a lot of different podcast platforms. Either way, it's there. If you want to listen to it, it's all there right now. So except for this one, it'll be up there soon. Vamp uses SoundCloud. Interesting. Okay, I'll add that to the list. I should be able to add it to the RSS feed thing that exists. But either way, everyone who's here, thank you so much for watching and for being here and listening. Whether you're watching live right now, like VCL, who says, I'm your favorite YouTuber. Thank you, VCL. That's so cool. Thank you so much for watching. And if you're watching or listening later on, I appreciate you too so much. And there's some pretty interesting stuff I want to talk about today. Like some Superman face sculpts. I almost feel like this current Superman is going through the same exact issue that Anakin Skywalker has gone through. There's never been a good sculpt of Anakin until now. And it seems like all these Superman sculpts we're getting are like kind of either not so great or pretty good, but nothing like really good yet. So we'll see. We'll see. Domesticated Caveman says Super McGavin. And we'll get to that soon when we get to the main topic. But that's pretty much it as far as the, whatever housekeeping kinds of stuff. And so before, I guess this is still technically a housekeeping thing, but I want to talk about two live shows. So one of the live shows or toy shows that I talked about last couple weeks um happened last week, and it was great. The toying around block party was really, really fun. And so the next one coming up is July 19th. It's coming up, and I have a table at this show. This is all right, Venom. Venom wants to come up. Say hi, everybody, to Venom. So the next show coming up is in July. It's called the Great American Toy Show in Taunton, Massachusetts. I've never heard of Taunton, Massachusetts before. Just makes you think of a tauntaun. You know, thought they smelled good on the outside. But that is going to be coming up, and I'm going to be there. And I have a table. I got some new stuff that I'll be selling. I've got some tchotchke Sirdork crap, like some hats. And then I've got, prints and photos, stuff like that I'll be selling there. And it's going to be like 2 stories worth of just like toys and action figures. And, the people from Mythic Legions are going to be there, and, Valaverse and stuff like that. So I'm very excited for this show. And I've been to the other shows that this guy's put on under Chris Con, and they've been so fun, so much fun. So if you live anywhere near the Massachusetts area, go and show up, and maybe we could meet. That would be so cool. That would be so freaking cool. So there's that coming up July 19th. And so there's another show that's a pretty interesting one that I'm going to be at, which I think might be the first of its kind that I've heard of. So get a load of this. Are you ready for this? This is Toy Tuber Expo. Toy Tuber Expo. So join us on Sunday, August 17th for the first ever Toy Tuber Expo presented by Viteri Productions. So Viteri Productions, they have put on like Legions Con. So Legions Con is really cool. Anytime I've gone to Legions Con, I've met more toy people that I've known online than anywhere else. It's crazy. And so I guess the whole thing is kind of just focused on, obviously toys and action figures, but also like toys and action figure online personalities like me. And so first on the list, we got D Amazing. And I'm sure everyone who's watching this who enjoys action figures and uses YouTube probably also knows D Amazing. And then there's me, Sirdork. So I'm not sure exactly. I think there's going to be more details soon. I'm not exactly sure what is going to be entail, what this show will entail, but it'll be cool, probably, and I'm very excited. So that's an August 17th, and this is in Hasbrook Heights, New Jersey. So that's a little bit further of a drive for me. So if anyone is in the New Jersey area or anywhere near there, this could be a really fun show. And then if you like this show, then come to the other ones that these people put on. So if you're interested in going to any of these shows, I have the links to both of them in the description of this, and I'll put it in the show notes of the podcast feed also if you're listening to it there. So that's pretty cool. Toy Tuber Expo, Great American Toy Show. See you there. Hopefully. I would love to see you there. Is there anyone here in the live chat now that is actually planning on going? Because that would be really cool. Stubbs, I know you're in Massachusetts. This could finally be the one where we could meet. This could finally be the one. Vamp, if you buy a plane ticket, if you buy me a plane ticket to Houston, I mean, maybe. No, that's too much. That's way too much. So I hope to see somebody there. Either way, it'll be a great time. So, okay, let me get into the toy news, because there's not as much as last week, but there's some kind of really interesting things, actually. So the first thing is probably the most curious I am about this. So if you're familiar with Blockies, which I'm sure you probably are, Blockies does a lot of model kits, a lot of Transformers. I feel like Transformers are the thing they're most known for. But I think they're actually going to start doing 1/12 scale kind of style action figure things too. They're all model kits and they're cool. They're weirdly high quality, quick little things you put together, but then they're like, so I've got one right here. I've got one right here. I did one video on them and I plan on doing a ton more. And so they did this right here. So this was at a pop-up event, Blockies Marvel Model Kits Gray Model Reveal. This was at, where was this? Shanghai Metro City. And so the two things that are jumping out at me is this Spider-Man, which this looks like a, I don't know if this is 1/12, it could be 1/9 or whatever. And it's like a full scale kind of action figure. And it looks really good. So there's a Spider-Man and then there's a Venom. And these are both from Marvel Rivals, which I've never played before. And these aren't painted or anything yet. These are just kind of like prototype things. I mean, usually when you see these prototype kinds of things, sometimes they say awaiting licensor approval. And it doesn't say that. It seems like it's all ready to go. That Venom looks good. I've never played Marvel Rivals, so I don't know anything about these versions of the characters. And then these are some of the other normal types of more chibi stylized types of figures that they do. And those are cool. But I'm, more interested in this. Like these two figures, Blockies getting into this very competitive filled space. I don't know. The Roberto says the Venom looks so cool. Yeah, I'm very curious about it because Blockies seems like a great company. I met a bunch of people from Blockies when I went to New York Toy Show, and they're very kind. And they seem to really care about their products and putting out different things that nobody else is putting out, and that's really cool. So, yeah, Noob Retro is into it. So, JJ Garcia, thanks for coming in. I appreciate you so much. So let's see. I'm sure more will be revealed soon, but man, every time I see Blockies in the store and I'm doing a toy hunt, I always say Blockies is going to be taking over. I'm telling you, they really, really are. And they seem to be getting around a lot of the like licensing exclusivity that exists because they're not technically action figures; they're model kits, right? So very interesting. I'm very curious to hear more about that. So the next thing I wanted to talk about is actually, it's not something that I really care about, at least this specific decision that was made, but it seems like a lot of people do care about. And so I talked about it last time, and that's mostly the reason why I'm talking about it. So I did talk about this Cyclops SH Figuarts figure last time. This is the first of this Gamerverse line that SH Figuarts is doing, and the Cyclops looks like the OG like X-Men from the 90s or like the X-Men 97, but this is apparently this is from Marvel vs. Capcom, and this is just, everybody was like, this looks beautiful, but I talked about last week how so many people were saying he's just going to be too small. And my argument was like, well, who cares? Because they're just making it to the same scale that they always make their figures. Why would they try to appease to scale with their competitors? I don't know. I guess the reason behind that would be maybe they'll sell more if they do that. And that's probably their goal, is to sell more. So I guess they made a little change here that says, please note, final product height is officially 155 millimeters, which I guess is 10 millimeters higher than it was before. So I guess they heard the feedback and they said, okay. So I guess they're making it taller, which I guess that's cool. And I'm curious to know, is that going to make it scale more with like Marvel Legends kinds of stuff, or is it going to be too big for their, like, I'm just curious. I'm very curious. So yeah, I guess it's cool to hear that they actually were taking, community feedback, which most of the time companies don't really do that. I mean, they do, but people, I think, also need to realize that all of the community feedback that we see on these YouTube comments, this is a representation of a tiny little fraction of who's actually purchasing these figures. Yes, the community is loud and they're saying, change this, but the people that are saying change this is a tiny little percentage of actual people buying it, and so to just listen to those people that are loud is kind of making a huge change based from a tiny little group of people versus the rest of the people that are not. So I understand how it's not, you can't just listen to community feedback and just, okay, we'll change it. Because that's, not always, you know what I mean? We got to remember that. We got to remember that. But cool. I think it's cool. I'm into it. And I think I'll be getting this. I think I'll be getting this for sure. Noob Retro, you bring up a good point. It says we need a Gamerverse Figuarts Master Chief. So that is a good thing to bring up because so Gamerverse, what does this mean? What other Gamerverse stuff do they plan on doing? Just any video games? Or are they going to be doing other, big IP video game stuff like this one? So I'm very curious to what they mean by this Gamerverse line. Are they going to be putting out God of War figures? Because that's, I don't know, like Master Chief? Are they going to put out a Doom Slayer? Man, Figuarts put out a Doom Slayer. I will pre-order that. I'll just send them a check to their, I don't know, head database, whatever that's on their website, and just say, this is towards the Doom that hasn't been on pre-order yet, but here's my money. I'll just pre-order it. So yeah, Kratos, right? Yeah. Marie says it should scale like their other figures, so slightly smaller than Marvel Legends, but not enough to be really annoying. Yeah, Maurice, that's what it seemed like was going to be the case beforehand. They're just going to scale it to their normal stuff, but they upped it a little bit. So is it going to be out of scale with their more normal stuff and be more to scale with Marvel Legends now? I don't really know. Is 155 millimeters around 6 inches? I haven't done the math. But either way, it's cool that they're listening. It's cool that they're listening. So the next thing I want to talk about is I'm not a big Mythic Legions collector. Actually, I'm not really much at all, except when they put out skeletons. Then I'm like, give me those because I like skeletons. But they just revealed, I don't know if this was just revealed or if it's just out for pre-order now, but they just, a bunch of stuff is up for pre-order. And this is called what's this wave called? Far North of the Mythos. Settlement of Einzamal. So we've got this guy who looks pretty cool. This is they're kind of like Viking North people in snowy weather. What's a good I don't know a good way to describe this, but this is kind of a cool looking dude. And we've got this girl, which this face and this figure seems very different from a typical Mythic Legions figure. Like this, it's almost like a cartoonish stylized looking face sculpt on her. Okay, Lucian says Nordic. Yeah, perfect. That's exactly, like Nordic kind of style of, which that's pretty cool. And she comes with some cool stuff. That's a pretty cool looking figure. And this is a little bit like a short dwarf looking guy who switches with a blue goblin looking face. And he comes with a big beer keg thing, barrel. Sorry, big beer barrel. Yes, Scandinavian. Perfect. White Vegeta says Scandinavian vibe. So that looks cool. And let's see. And you can also just get this accessory pack. It's got the beer barrel, and it's got apples and beer and a cast iron skillet, and it comes with sausages. It's pretty cool. This is not something I'm going to be picking up. And then we've got a more of an enemy looking blue dude with this cool bone armor. He's cool. It's pretty cool. Zach Smith says he wants the dwarf. It's pretty cool. Actually, John, that's a good question. A good point. That looks like a plunderling head. A little bit. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. It does look like a little bit of a plunderling head. So this guy's cool. The next guy right here, this is a little fox guy. He's really short, but he's anthropomorphized, but he's got a fox head. And he comes with a fire pit. These accessories are cool. He comes with that same cast iron skillet, a thermos, a backpack, pretty cool stuff. And so this guy is the most intriguing to me. This is just a giant 1/12 scale polar bear. Like, and I'm sure he's massive. Like, this is so cool. You can take the stuff off of him. I'm sure this kind of scales with that other just plain brown bear that they did, which is so cool. And this beautiful, absolutely stunning photography. This is done by Trevor, 1/6 shooter. Really amazing dude. So yeah, that's probably the thing. If I were to get anything, it'd be that. And then we've got a big anthropomorphized wolf looking guy. So he's cool. He's almost like a werewolf with armor. And the armor is so detailed. Like, that is super cool. Super cool. And he's got like a muzzle accessory too. Like, come on. Yeah. Modu Prince says most any 6-inch figure can ride that polar bear. Yeah, you could use him for anybody. With that, yeah, which is something that is what I'm thinking too. Which is why I would be interested in it. And then so yeah, here we go. It's all right here. The whole wave is, I guess, up for pre-order now. So very exciting. I think that's really cool. And if you want to, all this stuff that I'm pulling up is all just stuff from Instagram. So that's from Four Horsemen. And so, okay, the last thing I want to pull up is something that broke today. And I'm so glad I saw it, because this is something that excites me very much. And if anyone watched the Fallout video that I put out when the Fallout show came out, I was like, okay, Fallout show's out. Let me do a video on Fallout action figures. And I was like, you know who I think will probably make Fallout figures? Oops, hang on. And I have guessed correctly. I called it, folks. So if you're a fan of Fallout, you're going to be very excited for this, because Fallout fans haven't gotten an actual articulated action figure Fallout related ever since Funko put out a couple years ago, at least at this scale, this like the 1/12 scale kind of thing. And so McFarlane is doing it now. So McFarlane is putting out TV show Fallout related stuff. Like, there's a Lucy and the Ghoul, and they're also putting out video, just Fallout game stuff with the new Elite line, and they have a new T60 power armor coming out. But Good Smile is coming out, and we've got a prototype Fallout figure right here, and I'm very excited about it. The green on screen says, I'm not even a Fallout fan, but that seems cool. And so there's not a whole lot of info here. It's all it says is figure update. Good Smile Company Fallout Play Meta T60 Power Armor. Stay tuned for more information coming soon. Click the link in our bio to wish list it now. So it looks like, I don't remember where I saw this, but it seemed like they still, where did I, okay, yes, on the top it says pending licensor final approval. So I guess ZeniMax, that owns Bethesda and whatever, they haven't given the final approval on this yet. I'm sure it'll go through just fine, but that's pretty exciting. We're getting a it doesn't say Figma, so I'm assuming that it will be a Figma. So I'm pretty pumped. I'm pretty pumped about it. EXMC throws out a question kind of on the same thing. Are there any Warhammer figures? I reckon they would be cool to shoot. McFarlane has a whole Warhammer line of figures that are, in that typical 7-inch scale that they do, and they look really great. I mean, I've got a couple of them. I've never actually opened them up, and Joy Toy makes some too. Yes, the green on screen. Yes, but they're, a smaller scale. But I'm pumped about this Fallout. When I heard this, I was in. I was like, yes, we're getting it finally. So that's pretty cool. Titus, I see you in the live chat. I appreciate you very much. I do. But I gotta, I'm all over the place right now, but I appreciate you, dude. Okay, so that's the main toy news I wanted to get in, besides the main topic that I wanted to get into. Okay, so Superman comes out July 11th. Wow, it's really soon. Superman comes out July 11th, and there's a lot of different action figures coming out here. We've got the McFarlane ones. I've done a video on the McFarlane ones. I'm very happy with those. Those look great. They're not, McFarlane puts out great stuff, but they're at a $20 price point. So when, like a Mafex or Figuarts comes out, my eyebrows are raised a little more and I'm a little more excited. And so last week I talked about how SH Figuarts did reveal, yes, we've got a Superman figure coming, but we didn't see any of the figure yet. We just saw the chest and they're like, we're doing it. We're doing it, guys. But they finally revealed it. They finally revealed the SH Figuarts. And I don't know. I'm not digging the face. I'm digging the figure. So on the screen, I've got it up right now. The figure looks beautiful. It looks absolutely up to the standard of what you would expect from an SH Figuarts. It looks really great. It looks beautiful. And look at this. Looks good, right? Wired cape. Butterfly. I mean, it just looks solid. It doesn't have a weird crotch area like most of those Figuarts figures do. Articulation looks good. He's in a nice kneeled pose. He's flying. He's able to be, totally vertical or horizontal and still look up. That's amazing. Looks good. Very, very iconic classic Superman pose, and, great. Everything looks great, but I'm not digging the face. I'm going to get this figure day one. No problem. No problem. And so when I was looking at this, I was like, you know what? This doesn't look like the guy. It looks close enough to him to the point where like, yeah, that's Superman. Boom, fine. But, if you're spending $100 on an action figure that's supposed to be photo real and you want this, yeah, you're going to expect something better than this. And so when I was looking at this, I was like, man, who does he remind me of? And then I saw a meme of Shooter McGavin from Happy Gilmore. And yeah, that's spot on. It looks like Shooter McGavin, and everyone in the live chat is saying Shooter McGavin. Yeah, it does. And I'm not one to just bust on it and whatever, but it does look like him. It does remind me of Shooter McGavin very much. Like I said, I'm still gonna buy the figure and whatever. That's fine. But it's really not, the face sculpt really is not that good. It's weird because Figuarts sometimes is like better than Hot Toys. Sometimes I'm just like, wow. Spaded One McOdyssey says he looks dumpy and all the busyness on the texture doesn't help. So I don't know what you mean by dumpy, but I don't necessarily see dumpy. Actually, the thickness of the suit, like if you compare it to like his hands and stuff, it's not as skin tight as like Henry Cavill's or something. So I think it kind of fits the way it looks on screen. Domesticated Caveman saying, "You eat pieces for breakfast?" No. Really quick, GLGPR Animation says, "Are you putting the podcast on YouTube?" This is the podcast on YouTube right now. So yes. Also, it's on it's on the other services as well. But I think everything else besides it looks good. I don't see any reasons to. I did see some criticism about the texture, but I mean, I think the texture looks fine. I'm not. That isn't something I'm really worried about. So I think the figure looks and feels great, but seems like it's great. But yeah, the face is off. And I don't know. There's definitely a lot of criticism about it, and I think it's warranted with this. The other aspects, no, I think everything else looks good. Looks very, very good. So that's Figuarts. Whenever Mafex, I'm crossing my fingers for when Mafex puts one out. That's gonna be like, because their faces are always great, and so are Figuarts though, which is weird. So next is Hot Toys. And I saw this yesterday, I think, and I was like, yes. And I'm pre-ordering this right away. I almost said pre-ordering it day one, but it is out for pre-order now, and I haven't done it yet, so maybe I should do that. But I don't think this face sculpt is that bad. I saw a lot of criticism in the comments, but if you ever look at a Hot Toys comment thread, it's always just a bunch of whiners. It's always just a bunch of whiners. Okay, John Nightwing says Mafex 3 years later. You're so right. You spot on. Mafex will be 3 years later. Man, but um the face sculpt on the Hot Toy, looks looks really good. I definitely don't think it's perfect, but then again, I don't think like this is good enough for me. Honestly, I think his eyes look like it. I don't know if it's maybe like something in the mouth or the jawline. His jawline looks even more chiseled. He's almost like this Hot Toy. I think David Cornsweat's a very handsome guy. I mean, he's Superman. He better be. But I feel like this head sculpt is almost more handsome than he is. Sorry, I hope he's not listening. I think this is even more handsome. He's better looking. Maybe that's what it is. um, but the figure looks amazing. It looks so good. Like the suit and the vibrant colors are just beautiful. Like the vibrant colors are like the figure arts is a lot more dull. These colors are amazing. And it comes with Krypto, a flying Krypto, and this incredible base. He kind of looks like a buddy of mine. Actually, he looks like my friend Ryan Moore in this. If Ryan's listening, he kind of looks like him. But that stand is so cool. This photo right here, that face sculpt looks great. Like this looks super good. Spaded McOdyssey says, Spaded one, no company is getting Cornsweat's likeness right yet. They all look off. I mean, I think this one's a little bit off. I don't think it nails it, but it still looks like him. I think this is good. It's far better than the figure arts for sure. But I think this is still pretty good. And I'm gonna be very happy with this when it comes out. So we'll see what the other ones do. But either way, the Hot Toy looks fantastic. The cape looks good. Both my Henry Cavill Superman Hot Toys do not have a wired cape, so I'm happy to see that. I don't know why those don't. Like, come on. Domesticated Caveman. So yeah, I'm pumped. I'm very, very pumped for this. And I'll probably do the pre-order. Krypto. Oh man, that base looks so good. I see some Krypto standing. So I guess they didn't maybe like a half Krypto where he could be kind of running or flying, which is cool. Jamie Wood, are they doing a Superman Clark Kent? I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will. There probably will be more. I think this movie is going to be very successful, and I can't wait for DC to be successful. That just warms my heart. And I'm sure it is, and when it is, they're going to want to keep putting out stuff for it. And I'm sure that they'll do a Clark Kent and other Superman and other Hawk Girl, and I'm sure Guy Gardner and stuff. Appertoy says, for me, it's still hard to justify the price of an SH Figure Arts or any without the connection to this specific Superman. I'm rooting for the movie to do well. We'll see afterwards. Yeah, if you see the movie and you like really love him in this version of Superman, I'm sure it'll just make you want to love this figure even more. That's a really great point. But without having seen it yet, I totally get how you're like, I'm going to wait till I see the movie first. Zach Y Photography says, it's pretty awesome to see all of the hype around the new Superman movie. It seems like they want this to be DC's version of the first Iron Man. Yeah, absolutely. Zach, dude, the fact that there's like so much positive hype around DC, I had to live through from 2013 onwards, everyone laughing at me saying when I would tell them how much I love Batman versus Superman. And I had some good arguments. I even changed some people's minds about it. At least that's what they told me. But either way, I'm very, very excited. This looks great. So there's that. So there's more. So this is the only thing I could find from Beast Kingdom with Superman. And I think Beast Kingdom is a great company. I don't really like this line of theirs so much because it's bigger and sometimes they're a little bulky, but sometimes they've really nailed their head sculpts. Like I have a black suit Superman, Henry Cavill that came out, and it's a pretty incredible. The face sculpt is so good. It looks just like Henry. He's way too tan, but that's fine. But I don't think these are like the only photos. They're not super good. They're just on the floor of licensing expo. I don't know. So he looks all right. I mean, it looks fine. I won't be picking him up. This photo's not so bad. Like it looks enough like Superman. You know, he doesn't look bad, but I don't think this is really nailing the sculpt either. So that's not the best. I think the Hot Toys is better than this. I don't want to say this is better than the Figuarts, but I think it's equally as off than the Figuarts, but the Figuarts is off in a worse direction, I think. Does that make sense? Val, hey Val, what's up, man? Valkins Photography says looks like a stunt double. Yeah, totally. Looks like he has makeup on this one. Well, I'm sure the actor has makeup on too, so I guess that's and also, yeah, I'm surprised we haven't seen any laser eyes yet for the soups. I wonder if there's some type of embargo that they need to wait for the movie to be out before they reveal other stuff that may or may not be coming out with the figures. You know, obviously we've seen that in the trailers, like the Heat Vision. Yeah, I'm very excited, and I won't be picking up the Beast Kingdom, but there it is. So come on. Oh, this is not. The next one, this is FJOY. So FJOY, I think, makes very nice, high-quality action figures. I only have a couple of them, and I did a review, and I actually was kind of unhappy with them because of some specific problems. But the one thing that I was not having problems with was their face sculpts. The Ben Affleck one I had was incredible. It looked just like him, and so did the Robert Pattinson. But this one, it's pretty good. It's definitely pretty good. But I also think this angle looks like him. I would say the jawline is too wide. Like it's nice, and this one's it needs to be like thinner and a little bit more cut, right? The green on screen. If InArt does one, any Superman InArt does, I'm in. I will be buying it. Oh, Val says they did an update for this one. FJOY did? Really? I didn't see that. Is it on their page? Well, that's exciting. Like, I don't think this one's bad. I think this one's good. I think this is closer than the other ones. I think it looks very good. I also just don't really collect this scale either. This is like the same scale as the Beast Kingdom that I was just talking about. Lizanette is just straight up like, in my opinion, I just don't like DC. All right. That's fair. Domesticated Caveman says, I just love all the choices. You know, we're going to just be getting more choices. We're going to be getting more. Everybody's going to be making a Superman. And you know what? I am going to be lining up. Not for all of them. Not for all of them. So that's really interesting. Fritch says it's on TW. So I don't know what TW is, but Val said they made it bigger and more in the likeness. This was the smaller one in the first reveal. Really? They made the figure bigger? This one's got 2 Kryptos. That's cool. All right, so I'm going to go. I'm just going straight to the FJOY page, which I'm already here. Yeah, I don't see it. They don't really have a whole lot on. Is this actually their official thing? I'll have to take a look at that, but it's on Twitter. Okay. Well, that's pretty cool to see, actually. So, all right, good for them. But I'm going to be completely frank here. I think this McFarlane face sculpt is the closest likeness to the actor David Cornsweet of all of the ones that I've just. I mean, the Hot Toys one is different because it's far more detailed and you've got so much more going on in there, and it's kind of hard to compare them. You know, it's bigger and way more expensive, stuff like that. But I think this McFarlane face sculpt is the best. I think this looks the most like him than any other one. This is the one I've got up right now. This is the Target gold label exclusive. That's battle damaged, whatever. But the face sculpt looks the best. I mean, I'm not saying the figure is going to be better than any of those, but the face, like, I would say this versus this is not even close. I think. Oh, hello. I think this is Figure Arts versus the McFarlane. The McFarlane face sculpt looks the closest. It might not necessarily have as much detail in the paint and the sculpt and everything because there's more money going into it, but it looks the most like him. Zach says, I think it's the eyes. All of the eyes have looked too intense compared to his actual eyes. I see what you mean. Vamp says, not the biggest McFarlane fan, but yeah, he killed the head sculpt. Todd himself sculpted it. I mean, maybe, I don't know. So yeah, of all the Superman stuff out there, I think right now, the one that looks the most like him is McFarlane. Right? Crazy. Very, very, very interesting. And it's also the most cost effective too. And probably the most available. You can go in Target and find it right now. Oh, a future collect says the SHF Superman looks like the Adam Warlock actor. It does look like him. What's his name? I really like him. I can never remember his name. He was in Death of a Unicorn. His name is Will something, right? Someone help me in the live chat. What's the name? Will. Put Adam Warlock in Guardians of the Galaxy. He's been doing a lot lately. Poulter. Jose. And Zach. Will Poulter. Yep. Awesome. Thank you guys. So let me know what you think about this whole Superman thing. It's very, very interesting. Are you gonna wait for a Mafex, or what other brands still you think would do it? If InArt 112 does it, awesome. I'm trying to think, what other brands would we be for? Mezco will definitely do one. I'm sure. I'm sure Mezco will probably reveal it like in the next coming. Definitely, they'll reveal it around the time of this movie, but it's not going to come out till like February 2027 or something. That's what. And NECA even they even teased it, didn't they? NECA made a tease. Yes, you're right. Zach says Revoltech. Does Revoltech do like movie style figures very often? I don't know. Do they do that? Yeah. You're right, Tony. NECA did tease it, but they didn't show off the figure yet, right? They just kind of said, we're doing Superman, right? I should probably go and pre-order the hot toy today. I really want to. Yeah, you're right. You're totally right. And I've got a couple of the Star Wars Revoltech. You're absolutely right, Jose. Revoltech has done Batman, and yeah, so... cool. All right. Well, that's all I've got for the Supermans. So the next thing is the top 10 toy photography. So if you're ever, geez, Venom's over there making a ruckus. So if you're a toy photographer and you would like to have a photo featured on this wonderful Dork cast, you can just post a photo on Instagram. All you got to do is tag me in it and then just do hashtag Sirdork top 10. That's all you got to do. Master of Figure says, yo, Sirdork. Yo, thanks for coming in. So, yeah, and that's what I've got. And I'll go through and actually we'll pick them myself. And so when I pick them, I will pick them based off of creativity and just uniqueness and something that I think will make people say, whoa, who are watching this. Not just what I think is cool, but people that, hopefully someone will say, whoa, when they're watching it. All right, then. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I actually I have 11 here. I think I went a little bit over. So, all right, it's top 11 today. So here we go. The first one I'm pulling up is this absolutely gorgeous photo. This is from Collectionista de Plastico, Victor Garcia. So if you follow this guy, he just posts these incredible. I mean, they're all with hot toys for the most part, but he poses them and lights them in a absolutely mind-blowing way. You look at them and you're like, "What? Holy crap!" It's just so well done. So, I mean, when I saw this one and I saw Darth Maul and Qui-Gon Jinn face to face, beautiful lighting, the lightsabers are lit up, and obviously the face sculpts look fantastic and these look like realistic things, but the way this is done is just like, come on. The live chat, time to retire. I quit. No, guys, come on. Everybody's got their own style, and the more you do it, the more you'll be able to figure out this kind of thing and learn from this guy. Feel it, be inspired by it. Because wow, it's this is absolutely amazing. So this is from Collectionista de Plastico. So really amazing work. So Victor, if you're watching right now, whew, amazing work. Next is from Jed Seth. Jed Seth over here with a T-Rex shot. And this is the T-Rex figure that's in here. I think this is the other big. Is this the other older colossal one, or is this a different one? And we've got like a custom, whatever Scarlett Johansson's character's name is in the new movie. It's like a custom version of her. So it's got like the Black Widow head sculpt on there, and like on a GI Joe body, probably. Like this, really cool. It looks great. Like looks just like her. And you've got muzzle flares going on, smoke and blood shooting the T-Rex. It's pretty sweet, and she's in a really cool action pose. So I think the photo is great, but I was actually kind of like, oh, nice. You put together your own little ScarJo. Is that her name, Zora, in the movie Green on screen? Whatever ScarJo's character's name is in the movie. And a close-up. Oh, we've got a bunch of swipes, bunch of close-ups. So there was a really big hyper collab with Jurassic Park recently. So if you're scrolling on Instagram and you see a lot of Jurassic Park related photos, it might be a part of that hyper collab thing, which is so cool whenever those happen. So Jed Seth, awesome. Really, really cool. And next is from Domesticated Caveman. Look at this. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, this idea definitely crossed my mind when when I had the Jesus figure, and I was like, nah, I don't want to do that. I bet you somebody else will do it. And then so Domesticated Caveman did it, and what an amazing job he did. Who's here in the live chat right now? So thank you, Domesticated Caveman. You are the man. Also, David Catalan in the chat, really quick. Have you seen the upgraded head sculpt? We were talking about that. I'm gonna have to check it out. So we've got a reenactment of the very famous Last Supper painting. I'm sure everyone can envision that in their mind right now. But, obviously Jesus is in the middle using that same Jesus figure that I did in a video recently. This is the Biblical Adventures D13 Jesus of Divine Mercy figure. And so instead of all of the disciples, we've got the MCU. So there's Black Widow, Hawkeye, Loki, Iron Man, Ant-Man, Thor, Deadpool and Wolverine, Thanos, Blade, Captain America, and then Hulk. This is really impressive. Being able to get all of these guys individually posed so they fit and they don't look busy and they're all in focus and lit well. Like this is a very, very impressive photo. Domesticated Caveman. Like this is so cool. Like I could see people wanting to have this up on their wall because everybody would be able to relate to this. Well, because it's such a famous thing, but it's perfectly, switched up a little bit to fit anyone who enjoys pop culture, So, really, really great. So, Apertoy in the chat says, my comment is in this pic. You're number one. Loki as Judas. Nice. Holy shot. Yeah. It is a very holy shot. So cool. Domesticated Caveman. Dude, you are awesome. No, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Really great shot. Next is from Shava Fernando. And so this is a Instantly when I look at this photo of Indiana Jones, this is the Mezco Indiana Jones. It's a perfect recreation of in the Last Crusade, the intro, when there's like a really cool transition for when young River Phoenix Indiana Jones, he gets his hat and then he looks up and it transitions to modern day Indy in the rain. And he's still after that cross of Coronado on the ship. And he's smiling and then he gets punched in the face right there. Psh, I've watched this movie a lot of times. So, instantly familiar with this because it belongs in a museum. So cool. So yeah, obviously it's a perfect reenactment of it, but it is also a beautiful photo. Wow, look at that. So he took the shot and with very blue lighting, lots of spritzy sprays and water, and so all of that with the rope and stuff. Wow, and it's so crazy how all the stuff in the background there doesn't look anything like a raining ship in the middle of the ocean, but the way you photographed it, it sure does. So good. Shava Fernando, really amazing. So good. Thank you for sharing that with us. And next is from Johnny at Ganja Wifra, Raiders of the Lost Bottle Cap Collection. Another Indiana Jones reference. This is just so good. So we've got is this Bert or Ernie? This is Bert. Wow. So we've got Bert, and he's basically playing the role of Indy in the beginning of Raiders of the Lost Ark. Sorry, opened up a can of seltzer. And of course, he's about to grab what would usually be the fertility idol, all that, that very famous scene with the bag. But instead of the bag, it's Bert's bottle cap collection, which I mean, I couldn't remember anything about the bottle cap. I had to look it up to to be like, what's up with the bottle cap thing? I don't remember. Maurice says this one is so cool. Hey, Skylar says, hey, Sirdork, thanks to you, I actually picked up that McFarlane Superman with the wired cape, something I didn't think I would like since McFarlane figs have been hit or miss lately. Well, I hope you love it. Thanks for being in here. Jamie Wood, my cat's name is Venom, which most come on. Okay, he doesn't want to come up. So most people who watch this channel are bigger fans of him than me, which is understandable. So it looks like he made the okay, come on. He made the hat out of clay. Totally, that looks like he made. And yeah, this looks so good. Looks so good. And the jacket he added on, just fantastic. So Johnny, awesome work, dude. Really great, man. And then next we've got Mind Trick. So Mind Trick has this. Okay, so I gotta forget that some people are not watching, some people are listening. But okay, so this is a photo of the Skull Spartan guy from Halo Reach, which I don't remember his name. Emil, which is he was the coolest design from that game, right? And so he's got the Master Sword, not the Master Sword. That's Zelda. He's got the laser sword. What the heck is the name of the freaking sword from Halo? He's got the plasma sword, the elite sword, whatever. And the effect on the sword looks great, but he has this way energy sword. Thank you, green on screen. That's what it is. He has this way of this really soft type of lighting that really makes his photos kind of glow. And and that's kind of what happens with this. And you see the glow in the photo and on the figure, and you can tell that glow is coming from the sword. It's just beautiful, crispy, clean shot. It's quite beautiful. It really is. Hey Shannon, thanks so much, dude. I appreciate you so much. Is the sword real? Says Toasty Toys. The sword. So if you look in the BTS, the sword is an accessory that comes with the figure, but he added in, an effect to make it glowy, So, yeah, really cool shot. This is when you're scrolling, you're like, wow, that's just a pretty shot. It's very pretty. So, Mind Trick photography, dude, so cool. So cool. Next is from David the Dinosaur Man, which this is like, man, there's so much realism to this photo. So we've got a dinosaur. What kind of dinosaur is this? This is the Hammond Collection Allosaurus, which I didn't know was a dinosaur until I read that. The Allosaurus. It's a really beautiful figure, but he's walking around in this like forest that looks like there's a really light snowfall, and there's like a little bit of like snowfall on the ground, it looks like, and there's some of it in the air, or maybe it's not snow, maybe it's just like a very white sand or something, I don't know. And wow, it's beautiful. It's very realistic, it's very grounded, and it feels like it's real. Oh, okay, it's a sand. It's like a really light sand. Yeah, it's very, very beautiful. Okay, and the way he's edited it makes it seem like it's more white, and I love it. It's a beautiful, beautiful shot. And figure like this is perfect for something to bring that sense of realism. So really great job, David the Dinosaur Man. Beautiful, beautiful work. And we got Hylianitarian. That's the first time I've read that out loud. Hylianitarian. And so Superman is playing fetch with Krypto. And like, this is one that I can't look at and not like have my heart warmed up. It's just like, come on, this beautiful. It's adorable. So Superman's flying, and Krypto is also flying. There's motion blur on him, and he's catching a stick, and you can see the stick, and it's just so cute. And that's just made me happy. Zach's thinking the same thing. Such a fun shot. Jamie Wood says nice. Yeah, it's such a cute, infectiously positive, warm shot, and who knows, maybe we'll see Krypto fetching in the movie. Hi Venom. Cool. Thanks, Hylianitarian. Really great shot. Next is from Mongalorian. Mission was simple, but that terrain says otherwise. This shot is just like really, I think the blue colors in this is what really got me. So we've just got a couple of stormtroopers. Looks like they're in the middle of a battle in the water, and there's water splashing around. We've got, splashes all over the place. And it looks really cool. There's so much blue everywhere, and the way that it's edited, just, I don't know, it's got such like black, white, and blue is like this whole photo. It's so cold, and I love that. And obviously the splashes look good. You got cool bokeh in the background. It's really cool. Charlie in Boxes says that looks really clean. Yeah, it's the water that does it. And if you look on the ground where the water is, there's like really cool looking crisp reflections on there of the light as well, with some splashes like that. All looks really great. So yeah, Mongalorian, I loved this one. I thought this was really cool. So great job. And thanks for tagging it, Sirdork Top 10. And there really are not a whole lot of people putting in that Sirdork Top 10 hashtag right now. So if you want to be on it, throw it in there. Definitely throw it in there. And so next is from JP Rex. Like, this is just an incredible recreation of which I don't know exactly how he did it. So we've got this iconic scene of the T-Rex in Jurassic Park escaping from his little habitat while they're in the famous Jeep, and Alan Grant is waving the flare at him, and the T-Rex is, noticing it, and the lighting from the flare is reflecting onto the environment. It's really crazy, onto the Jeep, and I'm almost wondering, like, how did you get this? Like, did you just like take the scene and replace it with figures? Like, it's crazy. So good. Like, it's really, really amazing. And so he used what figure is that? Is that the Hammond Collection T-Rex? Must be, because this looks like that 3 3/4 inch scale Hammond Collection figure. So imagine. But yeah, this is really good. So he's got some swipies, but it's more of just the. Oh, here he has a little shot info thing. Mattel, yeah, Hammond Collection T-Rex and Alan Grant. And he used the Ford Explorer number 4, also from Mattel, Jurassic Legacy collection. Yeah, awesome, so good. JP Rex, really great. Lizanette, thank you for confirming that for me. And so this is the last shot. It's from Pio Brizxi. It says R2 doing yoga. Would you look at this and how freaking hilarious this is? So Mando and R2, which two of my favorite people. Mando is kind of scratching his head as he walks in on R2D2 doing this. There's a yoga guided thing right on the thing. Which stance is this? Ultimate Guide to Yoga handstands for beginners. So it's just a classic handstand. Like, this is so funny. Like, the thing that the inclusion of the phone with a Google image search of like yoga stands, that was a great addition to it, because it really just solidifies like, oh, he's doing yoga, like that was really smart. So I'm seeing a lot of great reactions in the live chat of people laughing at this one. Yeah, this is so funny. Like, this is the kind of stuff that eats me up and that gets me, is just seeing these really creative concepts, and then it's just like, it's just so funny. So funny. So this is from Pio Brizxi. Alexander, great job. Really, really great job. So that'll do it for the top 10. That was actually the top 11. Actually. So great. Top 11. The next segment on Dorkcast is member questions. And then after we get through the member questions, we'll just do free-for-all Q&A, and we'll just chat. That's kind of what I'm going for. So if you ever want to like have a question guaranteed that I'll read and go over on the on Dorkcast, just if you go and join the YouTube membership that I have here on YouTube, it's $2 a month. You get some extra fun little stuff included in it. But one of the things is you can ask a question and I'll answer it. It's always on there. And these are really fun. And I just want to remind you, like, like when I say question, it doesn't have to be like a question about me. Like, so often it seems like there are questions about me. It doesn't have to be. You can just like bring up a topic or a new figure that you think looks cool, and like, what do you think about this figure? So then it can just be a topic. It doesn't have to be like a question about me, because I trust me, I'll go. Everyone loves talking about themselves, but not everyone loves hearing about themselves. Other people talk about themselves. So feel free to throw in a question that's not about me, because a lot of them are. But anyway, the first question is from Toys with Tank. Thanks, Tank. It says, what's your favorite video game? Well, my favorite video game series is Pokemon. 100% is Pokemon. I've ever since Red and Blue, I've been pretty enthusiastically playing every single main series Pokemon game that comes out. My favorite Pokemon game is probably Black and White 2. Love that one. But I mean, there's tons of. I'm a huge fan of the Fallout games. I've been recently a really big fan of Doom. I bought a Switch 2 recently, and I was playing. My girlfriend and I were playing Mario Kart, which is really fun. So far, so good. I'm liking it. I don't know if it's worth $80 yet, but game's great. And another thing I'll mention, the favorite video game, is if anyone's ever played the game Medieval for PlayStation 1, PS1 with Sir Daniel Fortescue. That's one of my favorites. And that's where I got the name Sirdork from. So, and Toys with Tank throwing out a favorite with a U in it. Toys with Tank. All right, you're a UK kind of guy. Cool. All right. Anyway, thanks, Toys with Tank. Next is from Kid Vamps. If you could make a figure using any parts from any action figures, what would you create? Well, usually I'm gonna throw because I'm gonna throw out like IP or characters that don't have figures yet, and Fallout is usually the one I jump to. And but we're getting that soon. But one of the things there's no good Shrek figure. I would love a Shrek. I can't believe NECA hasn't put out a Shrek line. That would sell like crazy. Can you imagine if there was a new articulated Shrek line? That would be such a huge seller. This generation or my generation and the next generation, I feel like would eat that up. Millennials and Gen Z or Gen X, I don't know, Gen Zers would be all over that. So I'm gonna say Shrek, and I feel like NECA would be good for that. I also want a Grinch. I want a Jim Carrey Grinch figure too. So right, Shrek. What is the deal with Shrek? Do you think Jada Toys Zach would do good Shrek? Yeah, I mean they probably would. I'm thinking about it. I think that'd be good. It just seems like something NECA would do, or McFarlane. I feel like it seemed like one of those two. Next is from Duffy21290. Says, other than collecting figures, what kind of other stuff are you into? So if I'm not doing something action figure related, what am I doing? I do like to play video games. I really love going to the movies. Going to the movies is one of my favorite things to do. I have the Regal Unlimited app membership, so I would like to go to the movies once to twice a week, if possible. Love going to the movies. I love like going on hikes and stuff. I think that's fun. I don't know. I got pretty basic interests. What else am I into? I don't know. That's it. Is that all I'm into? I do like to cook. I like to grill. I think grilling's fun. So I guess that's probably it. But I'm into pretty normal stuff. You know, I don't know. Sorry, that's a bad answer. Thanks for the question, Duffy. Green on Screen, who's here in the live chat, says, thoughts on Lord of the Rings. Do you have any of the LOTR, Lord of the Rings figures? I'm asking for the SH Figure Arts Aragorn for my B-Day. Well, I do have those SH Figure Arts. Hey, Shane is here. Hey, Shane. Smash Burgers is definitely an interest of mine. He's right. But I do have those SH Figure Arts Lord of the Rings figures on pre-order, so they should be coming soon. I do plan on doing videos for them, which is really cool. I like Lord of the Rings a lot. I would say I'm a casual fan, but like I really do love those three original movies. My brother is a huge Lord of the Rings fan, so if I ever need questions or something, I would ask him because he knows a whole lot more about it. But definitely love those figures. Legolas was always my favorite growing up, and Figure Arts is doing one of those. So, but there's the cool Diamond Select ones, which are out. I saw all those at FYE the other day, which was cool. Oh, I'm just seeing in the chat, Vamp Shrek with the armor, like when he goes to and like disguises himself when they're saving Fiona at the castle. That would be cool. Yeah, there's so much potential for Shrek figures. What the heck? Come on. Zach says I'm holding out for Gandalf. Yeah, I bet you they haven't done. I imagine Gandalf being a much more complicated figure to make with that beard and the hat. And so I'm curious to what they would do for that. But yeah, I like Lord of the Rings very much, but just not like a mega fan. If you were to ask me like, what's the name of the king of Innis Tirith, or right? I'd be like, I don't know. Is that the guy that jumped off on fire? I don't know. I definitely like Lord of the Rings. Kaiju Turtle says, is there a specific IP you like that you wish had more figures? Totally. I mean, I'm gonna have to say Pokemon. Obviously, there's no shortage of Pokemon merchandise by any means, and we're lucky that we're getting more actual good articulated Pokemon action figures with all these Jazzwares, Trainer Team, and stuff like that. And I think that's cool. I love them. Obviously, anytime I make a video on those, I have some type of monologue about it. But I would love some more articulated figures of some of the main trainer characters that everybody loves. We've got an Ash, but he's hard to get. There's not a lot of stuff like that. And I would love an articulated Feraligatr. I would love that. but Blockies seems to be doing great with that. So we are getting more. So that's probably my answer for that IP that I love. I feel like most of the IP that I'm into, they have action figures of. Yeah, I would say Pokemon. Kaiju Turtle, thanks for that question. Stubbs says, besides YouTube, Instagram, and playing with toys, got any other fun planned things for this summer? Yeah. Next weekend, I'm going to a wedding in Toronto. That'll be fun. And what else do I have planned over the summer? I'm also gonna go to South Carolina to see some family in July. July is a very busy month. I'm can't wait to see Superman. That's a big part of my summer. I don't really know anything else besides past August. So I don't know. Hopefully, just chilling out, doing some grilling, being able to relax a little bit. That's actually one thing I would like to do. Just relax and enjoy summer. That's something I would love to do. So Stubbs, that's a great question. Dumb Drum says, do you ever record multiple shooting and reviewing videos at once and save time just to shoot different photos in different areas nearby? Dumb Drum, first of all, thanks for being a member. I think this is the first time I've seen your name, Dumb Drum. That's great. That's exactly what I do. On Mondays are big filming days. So on Mondays, I go out and I film the toy hunt early in the morning. I get back while those files are uploading. I film the shooting and reviewing videos. I film 2 of them back to back, and then I'll edit them throughout the week. And then I will take the photos for them separately. So I'll film the main reviewing part at one point, and then throughout the rest of the week, I'll edit, go out and shoot, depending on where the weather is or whatever the photo is. And then usually on Thursdays, I'll film a third one if I can. And that's usually what I've been doing. This week, I won't be able. It'll just be 2 this week. And then, yeah, so I'll try to, optimize and be as efficient as possible to film and edit, this kind of thing. So a great question. Yeah, that's like exactly what I do. And usually, like, I'll film 2 back to back and I'm like exhausted, even though I'm just standing there talking and posing figures, but I'm like exhausted. So yeah, that's what I do. Dumb Drum, that's a really fun question. Domesticated Caveman says, what's your favorite action figure? I kid. That's funny because that's usually a question that I get. Actually, would love to know, what is your favorite lens in the repertoire? Well, I only have 3 lenses that I use. The one I like to shoot my photos with is the 85 millimeter. I really like that. It's a prime lens. I feel like it's the focal length really like stretches out the subject and the main focus line, the focus paint, in a perfect way that makes them feel big. It like stretches that out enough to the point where like the figures are only this far apart, but in the photo they look like this far apart. It's just like, it's really cool. Oh, I almost knocked over my drink. It looks great, and it almost like guarantees a nice, beautiful, blurry background, even if my f-stop isn't, because it's just stretching stuff out, kind of. And I think I love using that lens, but I can only use it in certain situations. So if not, I'll pull up my 45 millimeter, which is kind of like the Nifty 50. It's pretty similar to that. It's very universal, and it's lightweight, and I can get a little bit closer. It's a little bit wider. And usually when I film, I'll use all of those when I'm filming the YouTube videos too, but I have a 35 millimeter macro, so I can get nice and close up with that one. And it's cheap lens, it's light. And so I rarely will use that with photography. Depending on the photo, I will, but most of the time I'll use that for the filming on the YouTube stuff. And this is actually just a webcam. It's not anything I use for anything else. This is the Elgato face cam. Really great. Really great. Yeah, Domesticated, thanks for the question. Yeah, that's really great. I'm not a super expert when it comes to lenses and just like photography gear in general, but what I do have, I know how to use, just because I figured out it's what I got, And CD Toy Picks, the last question says, do you have a favorite IP? I think I definitely, well, I have 3 favorite intellectual properties that I connect with the most, for sure. One of them is Star Wars. I think Star Wars is probably number one, and then Pokemon also, and then DC Comics are my main three ones that I dive the most into. And then there's a couple others like I'll go a little crazy. Like I love Fallout. That's a big one that I spend a lot of money on. And recently Doom. I've just been new things, and Godzilla has been really getting me recently, but I'm a noob with Godzilla. Just been getting into it. So CD, that's probably my main IPs that their corporations love me for spending money on. So good for them. They've got me. I'm such a sucker for that kind of thing. I'm such a huge sucker for that. But yeah, that's the last member question. So I'm just gonna. I keep forgetting to use the banner. So here we go. Q&A. Now we're here. All right. Well, if anyone has any questions, feel free, throw them in the live chat, and we can just talk. We're doing great on time. Usually, I would be. There's a lot less toy news this week. So, Charlotte Welch says, "Are you doing a 4th of July photo?" I don't have anything specifically themed around 4th of July. Usually I would like to theme some photos around seasonal stuff, but usually I think I try to focus around like pop culture moments that are current. Like the Superman movie is coming out, so I want to do some Superman stuff. Jurassic Park movie's coming out, so I want to do some Jurassic Park stuff. So that's usually how I'll try to aim around. David Ortega says, "Can you buy Boba Fett?" Well, I have several Boba Fetts, but I do have a third party bootleg, unlicensed figure coming soon that I'm very excited for. Kanacha says, "Did you see the Golurk figure shown a few months ago?" Golurk? What? No, I want that so bad. Is it a Jazzwares figure? Is it like an actual figure? I love Golurk. Oh, that's so cool. I gotta look into that. I'm gonna look that up right now. I'm hoping it's Jazzwares. Jazzwares Golurk. Oh, I think I did see it. Oh, it's one of those big ones. Oh my god, that's big. Because that Metagross that's next to is very big. Oh man, they're getting my money real quick. Stubbs, undocumented. Undocumented figure. That's very exciting. Maybe I did see that, but I don't remember. That's so cool, man. I can't wait for that. Thanks for that, Kanacha. That's really cool. King of Dragons says, "Are you going to get the Hammond Collection Buck?" I don't even know what Buck is. So, obviously it's Dinosaur, but I wasn't planning on it. I don't know. There's a lot of dinosaurs that I just don't really care about. Like the most popular ones are the ones I'm gonna probably be drawn to the most, unless they're just really cool, like scary big teeth monster dinosaurs. Ahmad says, "Collection tour, please." I do plan on doing that. I do plan on doing collection tour very soon. So I don't know, I gotta dust a little bit first before I do that, but I do plan on it. Zach Y says, "Why do you think toy companies shy away from generic civilian characters? Obviously, they probably don't think they could sell, but do you think there are other reasons?" I don't know. I think the main reason is, will they sell? They're definitely going for the big monies. That's definitely their goal as a business, to just make the most money. And I definitely see how the bigger toy company, like the bigger companies, they're going for a wider audience because they're looking for the biggest. And I'm sure the big licensed Spider-Mans and stuff will sell more. But I'm surprised that more of these smaller companies don't do it. I think like people like Boss Fight, they seem to be doing stuff on that kind of more generic route with stuff. So that's cool. Maybe I'm surprised. I guess the best way to do it is find like a Marvel Legend of a very generic looking figure and use that, like the Martin Freeman ones or any of those guys. Jotun Heim says, "Have you reviewed any WWE figures?" No, and I probably won't ever. It's just not something I'm into. If I review something I'm not into at all, then the video is just going to be so boring and for everybody because I'm just gonna there's going to be no passion for it. Things like dinosaurs, like I'm not like a huge dinosaur fan, but they're still pretty cool. So there's still something for me to feel passionate about. But like if I like Ninja Turtles is a great example. I probably will never do a Ninja Turtle video because I just don't care. And if I do one, it'll simply just be like for pulling a quota. I don't know. There won't be any passion in it, which the video itself will just it'll show and it'll be boring and bad for everybody. Appertoy says, who has been your favorite brand to collab with, and are you hoping to work with in the future? Well, that's really cool. Favorite brand as far as toy brands. Actually, McFarlane Toys has been really great. I really enjoy collaborating with them, and I've done a couple really cool indirect ones with them and Warner Brothers, which was just really great. So, and they seem like people that really care about, like I feel like they care about me, you know, as opposed to, you know, sometimes they're just business, you know. So, excuse me. McFarlane is really great. I'm hoping to do. I have some potential upcoming Blockies ones that could be really great. For me, and I'm looking forward to that. What other ones that I really liked doing? Man, I'm really spacing out right now. I'll have to think about that one. I'll have to think about it because there's definitely some really cool ones out there. Kanacha, there's a Noivern too. Wow. Okay, I remember there being a Tyrantrum that I know has come out, but like I don't know where that is. I know it's online, but like, did it even come out in America, in the US? I don't know. I have no idea. Jamie Wood said, "Did you find the figure you were looking for, like in the toy hunts?" The Deoxys was the one, and I realize it's just not out yet, at least in the States, and it's coming soon, so I'll probably find it pretty soon. Oh, here we go. Zach says Valaverse is doing a line of Civilization background characters called Extras. Perfect. That's amazing. So yeah, that'll be really great. And Aiden says you should do Star Wars Hot Toys reviewing. Yes. Aye. Yes. I have a bunch of Hot Toys on pre-order that when they come in, I will be doing reviews. I got Darth Maul and like this really cool battle damage Darth Vader. I got Jar Jar, a couple other ones I don't remember. So when those come in the mail, I will do them. Those ones are obviously more expensive, so those won't come in as often, and I don't have a way of, you know, getting those free. Mr. Kiwi says Lord of the Rings was filmed in New Zealand. You should visit. I'd love to visit. But yes, I was aware that it was filmed in New Zealand. Adam Official says, I'm getting the CT Toys Wolverine and the knockoff Mafex Deadpool. Am I getting a nice haul? The CT Toys Wolverine is great. Definitely. The KO Mafex Deadpool, I don't know anything about that one. Which Mafex Deadpool is it? Like the gray one, or I know there's another red one too. I don't know anything about that one. Hopefully it's good. Hopefully. Hey, Theo DeHaan. Hey, welcome, dude. Analog says, when will you be doing another toy photography submission? Every day. So every week I just did a couple minutes ago a top 10 thing. So every one of these Dorkcast stream podcast things, there'll be a top 10 toy photography thing. And so all you got to do to submit is just tag me in a photo and hashtag Sirdork top 10. And that's it. And you could get on. There you go. Let's see. King of Dragon says a buck is a T-Rex. It's a Comic-Con exclusive, but you can get it in Mattel Creations. $85 though. Oh yeah. That looks good. I don't know if I'll pick that up. It does look cool. I like the really exaggerated paint job. I think that's pretty cool. Jose says, have you done a girl figure review? Never seen one. I mean, girl action figure. I have done reviews on action figures of female characters. Yes, I have. I guess typically I don't do as many of them. There honestly aren't as many, which is really interesting. But no, I did like Bo-Katan, I did Ahsoka, and there's others too. But yeah, I guess I don't do as many, but there's more coming. There's definitely more coming. Will you get any Studio Series Transformers? Probably not. I'm really not interested in any of the Hasbro Transformer figures. Ones that transform, I don't know. The YOLO Parks and the Blockies, I think those are cool. I think those are really cool. So everyone talking about the Valaverse stuff. If Valaverse, the company itself will be at both of those conventions that I mentioned, which is very exciting. Oh, my light is out. But if you want to buy directly from the source, come to those cons. They're linked in the description. If you're near the northeast of the U.S., really really cool. Just picked up the Megan NECA figure. You a horror fan, Sirdork? Says Codename Chief. I've been liking horror movies more as I've gotten older, but I liked Megan. The Megan 1 was awesome, and we just went and saw Megan 2 recently, and I liked it too. And I'm expecting NECA to make. There's a couple Megan outfits in that movie. Like that's action figure right there. Somebody's gonna make a figure on that. But apparently the movie has done really poorly financially. It's not pulling in a lot of money in the box office. So that makes me scared that we're not getting a Megan 3, unfortunately. Charlotte says, are you going to review the Annie and Rex? The Anakin you got. The Anakin and the Rex, I'm probably not going to review those. A lot of the Black Series figures that I've already got a character of that I really love, I keep them in the boxes, and it's all over this office. So all of the stuff on the wall, it's all Black Series stuff. So I hung them up on the wall right over there. So I probably won't. I'm going to leave them in the box. Sorry. Would you ever do a video based on Super Mario? Maybe. If there's any new really significant Mario figures, I totally am going to do it, because there really aren't any. I mean, there's those Jax ones from the movies, and there's those older SH Figure Arts, but other than that, there's not a lot of like really significant Super Mario figures, which is pretty weird to me, to be honest. I'm surprised there's not any more really significant ones out there. And same thing with like, where the heck's the freaking, I wanted Donkey Kong. There's Nendoroids too that I'm not thinking of. Smyan says, Sirdork, you're my favorite YouTuber. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that so much, and just you watching I appreciate that so much. Let's see. Sorry, there's a lot of repeat ones in here. What hot toys are you most excited for? Well, that Superman one for sure, but the ones that I've got on pre-order are the ones. So I just mentioned there's the new Darth Maul sculpt, which is incredible to me. The Darth Vader, that's super battle damaged. I spent a lot of money on that one. And the Grogu. I pre-ordered the full scale Grogu, which I wanted to get at Star Wars Celebration, but they were sold out. But that's okay. It's coming in. So honestly, that Grogu is probably number one. Amazing Stop Motion says, I just started collecting SHF, and I started with the Naruto 99 figure. It's great. What you're printing on SHF. I think very highly of them. They're one of my favorite lines. I'm a big fan of SH Figure Arts. Really, really big fan. Yeah. So cool. Congrats on that. Turtle Boy says, I recommend Blockies Transformers Rise of the Beast. They're pretty detailed and pretty good. I think Blockies is really great. I definitely am planning on doing a lot more Blocky stuff. Have you ever seen Final Space? It's a fantastic cast. I think you would like the hype type of horror, and the story is great. I love to see some action figures. A Final Space? I've never even heard of that. Sounds cool. All right, I'll look into it. Aiden Man 07 says, are you going to get any Marvel Legends Punisher figure? There's a new one, the John Bernthal one, right? From Daredevil Born Again. Yeah, it looks good. I think I know I pre-ordered the Daredevil. I don't know if I went with the the thing. Punisher. I don't know if I win Punisher yet, but I would like to. Eric says, "Are you going to review the Switch 2 that I bought?" No, definitely not. I mean, the fact that I included it in the video where I bought it was a little much. Like, I'm just, this is an action figure channel. If I was a video game channel, totally. Jamie Wood, I already answered your question about the Deoxys. No, I have not found it yet, but it's coming soon. Zach Y says, has there been a toy line that you didn't have high expectations for that really impressed you? Totally. Well, the Blockies one, these little guys, I was very impressed with these tiny little guys because these smaller things like this and model kits, like this isn't something that really interests me, but I really found myself enjoying this very much, and I was really they're really cool. So Blockies themselves have been really a big surprise for me. Vamp, go eat your pizza, man. Oh, no, you just did. Well, I'm glad. You're good. Apertoy says, did you see Bradley Cooper is going to be in the new Superman movie? Yeah, he's Jor-El, which that's cool. I'm into that. I like that very much. I mean, I thought we've had a lot of great Jor-Els, with geez, why can I not think of it in the original Christopher Reeve? I don't remember, but and why can't I think of Zack Snyder's one? I always get Colin Farrell and what's his name mixed up from Russell Crowe. Russell Crowe is a great Jor-El. I think Bradley Cooper will be great. I'm very excited about that. Very, very excited. Marlon Brando. Thank you, Stubbs. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for that very, very much. Yeah, 30th anniversary of Pokemon is very soon. That's when Gen 10 should be coming out. I'm assuming that they'll do that. Very, very exciting. And listen, are you going to do Blockies, a video on the Blockies Pokemon? Definitely plan on that. I'm a little late, but I definitely am planning on it. Motu Prince says, have you seen the upcoming Brutal Realm figures from an indie creator? They are supposed to be out in the next few months. That sounds so familiar. Brutal Realm figures. Oh, man. Oh, yeah. These guys, they look pretty cool. They're definitely not for me. They look like great, just huge jacked dudes. They definitely have Match of the Universe style that I don't know. I definitely see that, and I see why you would like it, Motu Prince. But yeah, they're definitely not for me. I'm probably not going to pick them up, but I have seen them, and they look like cool figures. They definitely do. Hey, Hellspawn Hulk says, congrats on the full-time YouTuber dream fulfilled. Thank you. It is a dream, and it feels like it. It's really amazing. I'm very, very happy. It's so cool. Jamie says, would you star in a movie? Probably not, but if somebody came up to me and said, hey, we're gonna pay you all this money to be in a movie, I'd be like, sure, that sounds good. I'm not an actor. I'd probably suck, but very, very interesting. 30 years, crap, I'm old, says Subs. Yeah, I know, right? 30 years. Well, 30 years since it started, it came to us in the US, I think two or so years after, or more than that. I think it was 1996 or 7. Yeah. So came to us a little bit after. So hopefully that makes you feel a little bit better. Turtle Boy, we get the Fantastic Four figures. Yes, actually, just today I made sure I pre-ordered them on Entertainment Earth because I saw some of the Mr. Fantastic and I was like, that looks awesome. His arms look really fun and really cool. Really, really cool. Theo DeHaan says, what do you think about third-party action figures? Are we entering a new era of action figures? Are they more affordable, especially to the toy photographers? It's so, Theo, the last week's episode was entirely well, not entirely, but the main topic that I wanted to talk about and I ranted on a lot about was third-party figures and bootlegs and stuff like that. I'm into them. I like them very, very much. And, they're nothing but good for us as consumers because, we're getting action figures of characters we love, but they cost a little bit less potentially. And they're usually very high quality. So, yeah, I'm into it for sure. It's great for us. Great for us. Hopefully it just does nothing but helps or encourages the big companies to just get better. Domesticated Caveman, thanks, dude. Yeah, 300K. Last week I was barely just below it, and now it's like 305. It's incredible. And anyone who has watched the main video I put out today of the T-Rex, that video is like growing and succeeding faster than any video I've ever put out ever. So I'm really grateful if anyone's watched that. Thank you so much. Very, very happy with that. And King of Dragons says you deserve 10 million subscribers or more. That's very kind. Maybe one day. That's a lot. That would be really, really cool. Really cool. Maybe one day. Oh, wow. Venom came and jumped up on his own. He didn't. Usually Venom just makes me pick him up like a baby. Oscar Taylor, do you prefer the Jada Toys Chester Cheetah or the Tony the Tiger? I think I'd probably Tony the Tiger more because I think even though I love Cheetos and Chester Cheetah, I feel like I had more experience with seeing Tony the Tiger more as a kid on like cereal boxes and on commercials and stuff. I feel like I didn't see as much Chester Cheetah. I don't know, but I love the Chester Cheetah figure for sure. Okay, starring in the new Superman movie, would you be a hero or a villain or who? I don't know. I wouldn't be either because I don't know. I feel like the closest thing I could do in a Superman movie is be like Jimmy Olsen or something. Maybe I'm too old to play him nowadays, but I feel like that's the closest thing that I could do. Whatever the most boring character is. Sono says you should review the Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime. It's like $90, but it's the best transforming Optimus Prime. Well, to be honest, I'm really not interested in the Transformers that transform. That's not something that pulls me in. I like them better that don't transform. They're just like a figure. But I'm sure they're great. I'm sure a real Transformer fan, which is not me, would love it. Oh, Vamp, no ranch for the pizza? Dude, dang. That stinks. You got to get some ranch. Let's see. Apertoy says, chat, have you liked it yet? Don't forget. Yes, if you're watching and you haven't liked the video, please, that'd be great. Thank you so much. JMG, Jared would be Superman. No, I would not. But that's very kind of you to say something, and I think we all know, obviously, I would not. I would like to be an admirer of Superman because that's essentially what I am. Ranch equals Texas ketchup. So in Texas, ranch is pretty popular too. I mean, here in upstate New York, I don't know, it's a pretty common thing to dip pizza in ranch, and I dip a lot of things in ranch. I definitely use ranch way more than ketchup. For sure. Today I had jalapeno ketchup, and it was good. I was really surprised how much I really liked it. Jamie Wood says, "What's your favorite drink?" Well, I'm not much of a big alcohol drinker. I'm just not. I have a palate of like a 13-year-old, so I like Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew is my favorite soda, but usually I'm a big fan of seltzer. I drink a lot of seltzer. My favorite seltzer is Liquid Death. I would love for Liquid Death to sponsor me. I don't know if that'll ever happen, but I love Liquid Death. And also, I drink a lot of energy drinks, which is not good. But I like Rain. That's my favorite energy drink. Could you review another amazing Yamaguchi figure? I might. It depends on if more come out. Well, I'm doing a Revoltech, the Revoltech Attack on Titan ones, which are not technically amazing Yamaguchi, but they're the same style of, Sono says, since you like the non-transforming figures, you should try YOLO Park. Okay, the last night Optimus Prime is amazingly detailed and posable. I will be putting out a YOLO Park video in a couple days. So there you go. It's not this figure, but all right. A couple more questions, and that's gonna be it for me. Appertoy says burgers or brats? If both, which one's first? I kind of what kind of food for the July grilling plate for Sirdork? Well, on 4th of July, I am going to do a little grilling, and I'm going to be grilling burgers and dogs, but I'm a burger guy for sure. Smash burgers are the way to go. I love smash burgers. So I definitely will be making some smash burgers, but I like hot dogs too. As far as hot dogs go though, what have I been making? I like these excuse me. There's these really cool, like this brand called, I think it's Fresco. And they make these really cool chicken dogs that have like all kinds of, there's like a garlic one and there's like this one. They're really good. They're really, really good. Can't wait for my InArt 112 Dark Knight Rises Batman figure to come, says Ahmad. You're going to love it. It's a really, really great figure. What's your favorite Marvel character? Silver Surfer. Love Silver Surfer. So very excited to see the Shalabal version of Silver Surfer in the movie, but I imagine that, because this Fantastic Four movie is in like a different part of the multiverse, right? So I imagine she'll probably, kick the bucket in this movie, and then in the normal whatever Marvel 616 universe, whenever that Silver Surfer comes around, it's like the permanent one. That'll be Norrin Rad. That's, I'm assuming. So probably, I don't know. Either way, I'm still pumped to see it. Adamon, I already answered your question about the Punisher. What's your next video going to be about? It's at the next video is at YOLO Park. It's the Nemesis Prime figure, which is really cool. Really, really cool. I'm excited about it. Jamie Wood, have you seen the new 52 Superman figure? Yes, I've seen it in store a couple times. I had it in a couple of the those toy hunt videos. Yeah, it looks really good, and I'm a fan of the new 52. But I've got several other new 52 style Supermans. So it's not pulling me into to get it. But I think that will do it. Everyone, thank you for sticking around and being here. And if you're watching this later on, if you're listening to it on a podcast feed, thank you for watching or listening or any of that. Hugely appreciative of all of that. I always have such a great time just being here and talking and just having a place to rant, when it comes into my head. So thank you guys so much. I hope you have a great weekend. Happy 4th of July. Be safe. And if you're not celebrating, just have a good weekend and have a great night too. Happy Thursday. Bye everyone. See ya.